Okay, grade 8s, there's a couple things that I need to go over for today, just so you guys are up to speed on where we are with this project. If you guys would look at your due dates, and if you haven't done so already, you'll notice that it says for MAPPS A, which is you guys, Friday, February 10th, phase 1 is due. Now, I did my checklist last class. Obviously, I realized that there was a little bit of a lapse in time needed. Okay. However, you are only getting one extra day. So today is the day, and you guys got to make sure that you get up to speed. All right. I'm going to go over everything it is that you should be complete by the end of today, right now. All right. Now, the first thing that I need you guys to actually take out and have a look at is your organizers. Okay, this is the project. This is it. Along with the creation of the house and of the property, this is the major aspect of the project. So at the end of the day, when we're presenting these, all right, next month, when you guys are presenting these, this is what you're going to have to refer to. So if you don't have this, that's like you don't have 50% of your project. Okay, now I'll give you the first few, and I've highlighted the master one. I'm going to go over exactly what it is I want in here. So the first thing that everyone should have is their property. And it should read this exactly. Everyone is 250 by 250 unless otherwise specified with me, because you need more space for what you're creating. But everyone else should be 250 by 250, which is 62,500 square feet. All right. Now the next thing that everyone should have and should have already created to some extent is their house. Okay? Now their house should have a height. Your property shouldn't have a height, therefore your house should have an area and it should have a volume. Okay? So for example, my house that I created is 100 by 100, therefore it's 100,000 square feet, and it's 30 feet high, therefore it's 300,000 square cubic feet. Okay, my volume is 300,000 cubic feet. Okay, all right. Now, like I said, when you go into your house, okay, when you start creating your house, it's a bird's eye view, and you're looking down. You don't have the roof on there. So you need to first break it into separate rooms with walls, and we've already talked about how to do this. That video is on the portal. Okay, you can go click that YouTube video and watch that one again if you're not sure, but everyone should be past this stage, but I'm just making you realize where you should be. So for example, my house is broken into a living room, a kitchen, a bedroom, a master bedroom, and then I have a bathroom off the master bedroom. Okay, and the last thing I have in my house is my entry, or just like when I walk in the door, essentially. All right. Now keep in mind while I'm creating this, if I have a bunch of square footage here, so if my living room, for example, is 200,000 square feet, that doesn't make much sense because my whole house is 100,000 square feet. So this should be created while you're drawing your project. Okay, you should not create this beforehand. All right, so you should create this afterwards. So I have a lot of items in each of my rooms. Most of you people will not have as many items as I have in my rooms. However, I want to give you an idea of what exactly it is that I want listed in your measurement organizer. So for example, my living room is 15 by 20. I am not going to add this 30 feet, okay, each time, okay, because I know that my volume isn't going to change. Okay, I'll talk a little bit more when we get to the second floor. All right, so in my living room is 15 feet length by 20 feet width, therefore it's 200 square feet total. All right, or sorry, this should be 10 foot by 20 foot, therefore it's 200 square feet total. All right, so in my living room I have one couch, I have one rug, so just one large rug, one lazy boy chair. All right, I have a TV and it's 60 feet, and I just have one of them. This is what this means in brackets, how many of each item I have, and a desk or a coffee table. I have two of them. All right, and then the next step is I go into my kitchen. Okay, I have one table, I have 8 chairs, I have cupboards. Okay, I'm not going to put I have 1 cupboards. Okay, that doesn't make sense. I just have cupboards. Okay, we need this information. We need this information for when we do our budget. I need to know you have cupboards in your kitchen, roughly how much that costs. Now, if you'll notice in here, I don't have that I have an oven, and I don't have that I have any other type of cooking, like a microwave. I don't have any of that stuff. That's obviously stuff that should be in there. Okay, so when I go in, I should add that in there. Now, if it gets to the point where you're taking too much time and you don't have enough time to put that into your organizer, then, okay, get the essentials in there, okay? If you just have an oven and a microwave in there and you don't have a chair or you don't have a table, well, make sure you get a table and chairs in there as well. 3 items in each room is by far enough, okay? I just want to see at least 3 items in each room. So if you look in my bathroom, I obviously have a toilet, okay? I obviously have a sink, and I have a washer, I have a dryer, I have a shower, tub, okay? That's just 1 unit, all right? Now, I won't go over everything else, but if you look, I have items in my master bedroom, item in my bathroom off my master, and I got a shoe rack in my entry, okay? My whole time I'm doing this, okay, I have them neatly separated, so in my living room I have it bolded, and I have everything else unbolded, all right? You need to do the exact same thing for your yard, okay? So for example, if I'm creating this, if I need to start my yard, so I'm going to bold it, I'm going to go, let's call it backyard, all right? And let's say my backyard is, say it's quite big. Well, I know my whole property is 250 by 250. My house is 100 by 100, so I really don't have much to work with. Let's just say it's 60 feet by 60 feet. And if you have extra space in the 250 by 250, that's fine, okay? I want you to realize that you don't have to cover every inch with something. I just want to make sure you have enough space for what you have, all right? So this is 3,600 square feet. All right, so in my backyard, let's say I have a pool, all right? And let's say it's 15 feet by 10 feet, and I gotta have a depth. I say it's 10 feet deep, all right? So I go, I'm gonna have an area and I'm gonna have a volume, so my area is gonna be 150 square feet, and just because I'm filling it in, I'm just gonna put the dash. I know it's 150 square feet, and right in my dash, if I look up here, you know, once you have the dash, the next one's going to be the volume. So I go down, and then I multiply that by 10. So my cubic feet is going to be 1,500 cubic feet, because I'm going to multiply 150 by my height, which is 10, and that's going to give me my cubic feet. All right, and my pool, I'm just going to put in brackets. I have 1 because some people might have 2. Okay. Now, rink, you could have a rink in there. Tell me your length and your width. You don't have to tell me the volume of the rink. I know it's not going to have a volume that's worth mentioning, okay? I know you got to fill it with water, but it's not really that big of a deal that you give me the volume of your rink. Barbecue, okay? These are the types of items. You'll just list how many you have, okay? Table, say an outdoor table set, you're just going to list them. You don't have to give me the volume or the area of these items. You just have to list them down, because when we get to the budget aspect of this project, you are going to need all this information, and it saves you from going back to your project and actually counting it. All right? So, just to give you a heads up of what things should look like, this is just an example, okay? I want to give you this one first. This is a bird's eye view of someone's living room. All right, and their kitchen. Their kitchen is here. All right, they have an island right here. They have a set of stairs going up to the 2nd floor right here. They don't have the 2nd floor in right yet, so it obviously looks like these stairs are leading to nowhere. They have a lazy boy, and they have a coffee table, and over here they have a kitchen set. And in here, you can't really notice the walls because they're not really that thick. But here's their toilet, and here's their shower, and here's their sink. Okay, and over here, they have some stuff over here. So they have a good spread, all right, a good spread. You can see where everything is laid out. And this is the type of project that I expect to be handed in, okay? You can see their floor is obviously some type of enamel, hardwood floor, which is great, okay? They have different materials on the spaces where they're needed, okay? Their whole floor is in grass, which doesn't make sense, all right? And the next one, this is just an idea, all right? It doesn't have to be this detailed, okay? This is extremely detailed, all right? You don't have to have shadows in here. You don't have to have everything perfect, okay? But this is pretty basic. They have a backyard. They have a deck here. They have a hot tub off their deck. They have a campfire circle with a couple chairs around it, all right? That's obviously not mandatory, but I'm just giving you. Everything would be listed in their organizer, all right? Trees, okay? If you have trees, you have to make sure you go back to your organizer and say you have trees. You type trees and you say, I got 20 trees. You just type it in right here. You don't have to give me an area. You don't have to give me how tall your trees are, how long your trees are, what the width of your trees are. But when you do your budget, you're going to have to buy these trees originally, all right? We're creating this property. We're not buying it fully furnished and fully decorated, okay? So in the end game, when we get to the end of this project, when we sell this stuff, all right, we're going to have an idea of how much we're actually going to charge for this property, because we're going to have a good idea of how much a tree costs. And this information isn't hard to come by, all right? But there's a lot of information here, and it's hard to actually know how much all this is going to cost unless we keep a detailed record. And that's what the organizer is for. So for the end of today, okay, the end of today, I know it's last class. I know you're on top of your game in the work department right now, especially Pepe. But for the end of today, I expect that everyone to have this measurement organizer complete for their house, okay? For their house. Definitely the first floor is all done. Don't worry about your second floor until you have that first floor done, just like this, okay? Obviously not the exact items. I don't care how big your TV is. I don't care that you have 7 chairs instead of 8 chairs. I just need to know how many items you have in your house, what your areas are for each of your rooms that you have on your first floor, okay? What the volume of your house is, what the property of your house is, okay? What the dimensions of your property are, dimensions of your house. And so that is guaranteed done at the end of class, okay? As for your backyard and all this information, I'll expect that you have started this and will be able to finish it, okay? Finish it by the first half hour of next class, okay? First half hour, all right? Now, so next class, what's going to be handed in? This organizer you have right here, this will be emailed to me. Now, say you get to the end and you don't have enough space, just highlight a few of these, right-click it, insert, and insert rows below, all right? You can go on to the second page. That's why I didn't get you guys to print this. You can make as many extra columns here, and it'll run into the second page, and that's fine, all right? But you need to insert, I need to have a copy of this. That will be handed in to me next class. So that will be next Thursday, all right? Now, also, obviously, your SketchUp is going to be due, all right? So that's your house. Okay, you can have just one floor. You can put a roof on it. Go to the first YouTube video I did, and it will show you how to put the roof on the house after you put all your stuff inside. And obviously, your yard is going to be complete as well. And those I'll be checking next class with the checklist, but also I'll be getting you to send me a file of that as well. Or I might just take a print, so you'll be able just to print screen it, put it onto a picture, and then just send me the picture of your actual of your project instead of sending me the whole file. Okay? Now, if there's any questions, you know my email address. Please email me. I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Other than that, have a great weekend. I'll see you tomorrow. I'll see you next week. Thanks.